Alright, here we are, back again with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time, we had discovered that there was a missing glass. And it turns out that our witness, Ms. Giselle Brett, had put it in her handbag. But, if that's the case, well, why did she have a handbag? Or not why, but couldn't she have put something else in her handbag? Seems kind of strange, doesn't it? But, before we go that route, let's see what happens if we pick the glass. If you ask me, it's the fact that she took the glass that has a deeper significance here. Why do you think that? Because it's a property of the restaurant. It's not some harmless act of pilfering like taking a bar of soap home for the public baths, is it? You take soap from the public baths? What? No, I mean, that isn't significant here. It's very significant, but this isn't the time or the place. There are more important things to concentrate on now. I think maybe you should reconsider your position too. Ugh, sorry, I will. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we already saw these lines. I don't know. I mean, nothing really. I don't even know why I brought it up in the first place. Well, I'm not really sure there is a deeper significance here at all. You do get it, don't you, my guy? If you can't find a reason why this glass matters, you'll almost certainly be found guilty. Ugh, I knew you were going to say that. And I presume you've got this too. It's the fact that she took the glass away in her handbag. That's the deepest significance here. If I'd worked that out, I would have given it as my answer in the first place. Think about it. The lady was carrying a handbag. It could have had almost anything inside it. Ah. So, it's time to reconsider your answer, Ryunosuke. Okay, well obviously it's the handbag. Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags with small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But that don't seem very true now. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it will be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce that there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. You can't seriously be suggesting... Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. No! Damn you! Order! 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 What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Oh, here we go into the dying sounds. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly, you have no faith in the police. I mean, you've been pretty sus with the whole pretending she didn't exist until we, made you admit it. Gah. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print. Oh, what, is that like a see-through bag? This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like this are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Ag! As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruto-san. Oh god, I'm dying. Order! Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. Well, that's not very good for our case. TBH. To be very, very H with you. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Indeed, and there's only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime. No, just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Ooh, Kasumi, you're not looking too hot either, my guy. I mean, at least your fucking student trip isn't gonna be ruined. Kazuma. Ugh. I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Ugh. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force this trial to continue. What? You mean this is it? Tish ha ha! I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. But the weak are meat, while the strong eat. You were wasting your time. There is no way to defeat true justice. A fact you can chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Oh yeah, because he said he wasn't going to want to do it if he couldn't defend me. No. Kazuma! What? Is there really no chance of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest, which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling. Haha. It seems we will be able to report to the British government on time after all. That smug little...
Yes!
Uh-oh. Wait! Your Excellency! Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case just yet.
Objection!
This this amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom. Yeah, but also, you suck. Your Excellency, just a moment ago, you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now, that means if there is a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
Objection!
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is a handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. You'd better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court scrutiny. However, I fail to see how it can glean any new information from this handbag. Ha! My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. Very well, I will grant the defense one final opportunity. Ugh. What? Oh shit, he's got the gavel. He's got the fucking big hammer giant. Look at his fucking hands. That is a man with some large fucking hands. Anyway. But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded. Okay, so there's the bag, which has a glass in it, like they said. Well, like, what is, like, what's this bit here? That looks a little bit weird to me.
Yes!
Let's check it out. Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection!
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say? On the victim's wrist? Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag. Yes, that is a burn mark. You're right. Ugh. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Ouchie points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. Ugh. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. What you're thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? Holy shit. Hallelujah. If we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to freeze this shutting door back open again. Freeze? I don't know what that word means, Kazuha. Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed. I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence... evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it. I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I had to find some link between that burn and the case. Yeah, let's just take a moment and think about it. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. Okay, so I can turn. Okay, it looks like a little like, what is that? Like a takoyaki or something? I mean, I know it's probably not what it's supposed to be, but it looks like a little one of those little octopus things. Let's double check everything we got. Single bullet fired at close range, fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma, no exit wound, bullet did not pass through the body. Well, I don't think that's like the bullet, I assume. Let's look at the print. We see the shooty bang bang, the stake, the glass. You know, it's weird that he is at the position where the stake is at, because like he didn't order the stake. That was Giselle's stake, and just But then again, that apparently was his glass. So I don't know. Maybe they moved the body at some point. Not sure about that. Okay, it's probably not that. So let's look at the carbonated water. Okay, yeah, so we see this, we see the fork, we see a knife, we see the water, the fucking processed carbonated water that I don't see why anyone would willingly drink. But I guess Perrier's a thing. And then there's the medical report card. Can I like double check this? Oh wait, no, we've already seen this before. Can we go through this? We already read this dialogue. Wait, is this new dialogue? Wait. There's a cautionary note at the end from whoever wrote this. It says, no, oh, wait. Okay, no, that's what we saw before. Bro, it's not like the first case, man. It's a little much for your boy. I'm guessing these are all like the same. Would warrant the same response. Okay, let's look at the print once again. Is there like something important about the glass itself? Yeah, no, that looks like the shadows of the mesh on the glass. Seriously, what is that? I mean, I know the burn mark, but duh. Bro, there's not even that much evidence to look at. I'm not sure. Wait. Let me look at my little magnifying. Nani? That looks like something I've seen before. Well, yeah, that's the only thing that looks even remotely likely, so...
Yes!
Yeah, let's do that, I guess. What's this, Council? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I like prints. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer, if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
Objection!
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. Oh, put the wrong button, sorry. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is this? What is it in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn? Well, I don't really see. I don't know how that would happen, but wait, was the steak served like really hot? With like a hot plate? Well, either way, I'm just gonna present it and
yes!
We'll fucking go from there, you know. The beefsteak. Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate. Ah! Oh, okay, we're a little wait. Your Excellency, are you all right? As you can see, there's an emblem on this plate. I would guess it's some trademark of La Carnival. Ah! This emblem on the plate and the victim's burn, they're one and the same. Yeah, exactly what Ryunosuke said. Ah! Ryunosuke, you genius! You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant. Well, that lady's short. Either that or Hosonaga is pretty tall. But even if that is the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, or the day before that, or the next day, or the next day. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time. Well,
Objection!
Yeah, you tell him, Kazuma. Sadly, Prosecutor Aoshi, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks, bro. I kind of needed that. Why? The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But... I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And, Although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. I mean, yeah, it does look kind of like... I don't know if it's like first degree or second degree or what, but yeah. It's like, I mean, dude basically got branded, you know. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. So yeah, I guess the plate was served really hot. I mean, I guess. Like, they didn't really specify that before, so... I feel like that would have been, like slightly a stretch, but, I mean, thankfully they don't actually expect you to point that out. All you're expected to make you point out is the burn shape, but, yeah. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. Oh yeah, 3 seconds of being... Yeah, I mean, you put your hand on a stove for, like, 3 seconds, you're gonna feel it, you know? Also, I'm not sure what 90 centigrade is in degrees, TBH. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As a head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Yes!
Yes, he is, but still, the point stands. Well, there you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves in a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day, or any before it. That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day, that would be beyond careless, I think, counsel. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie? I mean, to be fair, he might just be a quiet guy, you know, like... But generally, you would expect as much. Well, yes, I suppose. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think... Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but... I'm starting to think that maybe... we've been led into a terrible trap! There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson... maybe he just didn't notice the burn, you know? Like, some people are just resistant to pain, you know? Yes, the professor, being as absent-minded as usual, was unaware of his hand falling onto the piping hot plate and didn't even notice the burn happening. You didn't even know the professor, and yet here you are labeling him as a bumbling scatterbrain. How about I hold your wrist on a hot plate, and we see how your bumbling scatterbrain copes? Perhaps the scream you let out will wake you up a bit. Well, it's nice that there's this frankness developing between us, partner. Don't call me partner after coming out with nonsense like that. Damn, Cosmo. You're a good man, but you cut deep. This is a critical moment. It may very well be our only chance to turn things in our favor. So come on, Ryunosuke. You can do it. Or rather, you have to do it. You're the only one who can. So was he asleep or was he already deceased? I don't know, let's go with this one. I'm not 100% sure myself. Yes, the professor with his tendency to... Oh, so I thought maybe it was like the anesthesia, you know, made him pass out? I don't know. Was asleep when his hand fell onto the piping hot plate and didn't even notice the burn happening. You didn't even know the professor, and here you are, labeling him as a dim-witted dozer. How about I hold you... Okay, yeah, we've seen this. We get the idea. Perhaps the scream you... Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, fine, he wasn't asleep. My god, sorry. Also, I wish we could skip through the lines a bit, please. Okay, so clearly then, he was already dead at the time. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. Apart from in one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead. Oh, already? Dead? Didn't you talk to him for like to say hello, like before it went down? But okay, whatever. I'll run this train with you, Ryunosuke. Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. Oh yeah, it was a nice like firm slap, and he didn't like dart his head all about. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. But didn't you say hi to him? That's madness! Order! Order! Order, please! Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot. That's right! That's absolutely right, Your Excellency! This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student. But clearly, he has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Aoshi. It's you who has no grasp of the facts. I beg your pardon. As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement. But Your Excellency! The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency. Oh, hi. Nice smile you got there. What was that smile? Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Oh. Damn, look at Hosanaga's face. He's pretty shocked about this turn of events. Man, I like how you go from, like, the weird handwriting to, you know, talking normally. Well, no, I guess that's her speaking in Japanese, right? Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. Ga! Ga! Ba 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 ba! Ah, Miss Brett! You, speak Japanese? Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country, after all. Well, I mean, it's not like I can really... I don't think I can do a super good, like, English feminine voice, so... You just kind of bear with me a bit. My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. Well, that's not very nice. Oh. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level. Oh, well, you are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us. I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So, we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. Oh hey, the music's picking up. That's pretty neat. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides a gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken... No, I guess we could say that, right? If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please, do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Jeez, way to fucking, like, brag about how you couldn't be caught by slamming our country. That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down as the Supreme Court's history. Thank you. Easy does it. Sorry, I hope that is the last time I'll have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. Oh, not at all, not at all. It is a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. The Minister of Justice... May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Huh? Thanks. Was that a prayer then? Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with the cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. Yeah, he don't miss, you know? As they say. Ugh. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Crystal, Your Honor, or Excellency. Oh, what the fuck? That was a pretty hard smack to the face. You good? You good, Ryunosuke? Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. Yeah, let's see what this lady's got up under her sleeve.
Yes!
Let me press that real quick. But his hand was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds! You can't not have noticed! Do you think so? Well, let me ask you something. Sorry. Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly in those unsightly black trousers of yours has been wide open. Oh, damn, lady, you don't gotta fucking embarrass me like that in front of everyone. You can't not have noticed, can you? Huh? What? Oh, Jesus Christ! I fucked myself. Haha, what fun. You hadn't realized. The dear lady is absolutely right. As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well as yourself, Ryunosuke. Well, fuck, Kazuma. You could have helped the bro out and told me like an hour ago. Why didn't you tell me? Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing? Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can.
Yes!
Stop simping, my dude. Well, I can't. Anyway.
Yes!
As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water. Is that right? Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink. Correct, waiter? Exactly as you say, sir. Although... whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that. Damn you. Ah, I have enough English to understand that, at least. For the benefit of others in the court, it means, bless you. I think it means the exact opposite. Anyway.
Yes!
Here, let me look at my various papers and portfolios. Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. A fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma. Yes. Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death, it can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life. But it doesn't make sense. The burn must have happened straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. That's true, because I mean, if you let a plate sit for like even a couple minutes, you know, it cools down. And as the victim had burnt his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point. But wouldn't the inspector have noticed? Like, the homie was dead?
Objection!
Like, I feel like it's kind of a salient point. And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest! Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time. I concur. Prosecutor Ouchie is right. Arrgh! Don't be looking at me like that, lady. Okay, that's the kind of thing that's like begging to be presented on, because like it's straight up saying show me, but
Yes!
I mean I don't know exactly what the right answer is right away. Without leaving a trace. If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body. Quite right, dear lady. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga? As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. And yet you didn't notice the fucking burn mark, so how flawless was your investigation, really? I mean, you did, but you didn't understand the relevance of it. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? Ugh, you're right. Oh no! Perish the thought! Calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question! On my honor, I, Takasuchi Ouchi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspersions. A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence.
Yes!
See, like, when you say it like that, that means you, like, there is some other cause of death, and you're just, like, teasing us. Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right! The Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly. Which means that even if the What the fuck? You good? You good, my dude? Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand. Haha! A killer blow! The lady is formidable as she is beautiful. Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in our armor. Kazuma. What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person sitting next to her. Inspector Hosonaga. The detective. Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose, once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again. Okay, well, I thought that would have been this one would have been the important statement, but, guess we'll go here.
Yes!
Inferior? Okay, we kind of saw that already.
Wait.
Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. Things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. I can even see the thought bubble above his head, manifested in our physical reality. How bizarre. It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry, pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. Okay, yeah, this is something I do remember this from like Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney, but I think they implemented it differently here, so I actually am not familiar how this works. What marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement. But by moving the marker left and right with the directional buttons, things that I'm sure you are familiar with, Ryunosuke, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with X. If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around. Alright then, so first I should move the marker across with the directional pad and focus on the detective. Then pursue him with X and see what's on his mind. Here we go!
Wait.
Okay, so, can I move over here and hit him with a big fat pursue. Excuse me. Gya! What's the meaning of this? Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. I just said, excuse me. I didn't even say excuse me that loud. He just fucking went to like a fucking convulsive fit. Are you like sure you're gonna be okay, my guy? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply. Yeah, clearly. I need to stop confusing those buttons. Just look at that, man. That's a pretty extreme reaction to someone saying, excuse me. Oh. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say? If there's something you'd like to say, please, share it with the court. What is the meaning of this? It's a delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over. Cross-examination should be over immediately. Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Well, do you? Well, yes. If you don't mind, I would like to speak. Yeah. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. Oh, man, he's a little more spirited than he was before. A crime scene thief? Oh. Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Is that... This is a bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But if it was carbonated water, I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day, our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming. I guarantee it. I'm dying. Please don't get it on ambulance. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. Hey, now we have some more evidence. Sick. Miss Brett, can you confirm that this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death? Yes, it was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well. Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his, fervor. Ahem. Okay, so now I have that new evidence. Let me take a look at it real quick. Yep, that's definitely a bottle of water with some carbonation in it. Let's look at the front. The label is written in a foreign language I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. This must be very expensive water. I know, fucking expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking, you know? Then go to France and ask, you fucking dick. You could have just said that you don't know. Well, that's interesting. But sadly, we'll have to explore what that bottle means in the next episode. Things are running a bit long, and, you know, can't have that. But, hey, things are getting really good and spicy. And, music-wise and, character-wise in the fucking Hosonaga having a fit over there. Jesus. We'll see where it all leads, though, in the next episode. Until then,